Shalom, call Halimla Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Sincere Shalom to 144,001 Now, title of this lesson is going to be Judah shall be roused up. These coming days, Esau is going to increase his hatred against the children of Israel. Or I should say, he's going to let it be known more on a mainstream public scale. And through the midst of all that, Esau is going to bust some type of move against the hopeful elect, against the Israelites as a whole. I saw a video of a neo, the guy with the mustache group in I think it was Tennessee. They were doing training. They had secret armored clothing. I think they were doing martial arts training, weapons training, all that, getting prepared to come after Jake. And the main target is you Judites, you so-called blacks of America. That's Esau's number one target, and one of the most oppressed, not one of the most oppressed group in history. Everybody in the world knows what happened to so-called Negroes in America. Esau let that vibrate throughout the whole earth. And a lot of what happened with the Northern Kingdom, the only thing that's really brought up is the genocide and the stealing of the land. But that, for the most part, gets swept under the rug compared to Judites. And Esau, when these race wars and all that build up, he primarily got his eyes on you Negroes. Now let's get this right here. Excuse me. John 7:7. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil. And who is in control right now? The Edomites, so-called white men. And who is that speaking? Yahweh Shai. And guess what? Yahweh Shai is what? A Judite. So what is that? That reflects to what we see in society. You Edomites have a disdain for all the 12 tribes, but a special disdain for the Judites, man. And the reason why is because Judah is the head tribe of the Israelites. Let's go to here in Isaiah 48. Isaiah 48 and verse 1. Hear ye this, O house of Jacob, which are called by the name of Israel, and are come forth out of the waters of Judah, which swear by the name of Yahweh, and make mention of the Most High of Israel, but not in truth, nor in righteousness. So the Israelites came forth out of Judah. How? Because Yahweh Shai was that first created spirit. He was Adam, so on and so forth. And his lineage goes down the line to what? Judah. Now it's another one going into that. Genesis 49. And Genesis, the 49th chapter, and verse 8. Judah, actually, let's get more context. Genesis 49 and 1. And Jacob, who is Moses, okay, Jacob is Moses. Just to prove that point, let me finish this. Genesis 49 and 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. So this is the prophecy of what the Jakes, all right, or I shouldn't say Jake, because Jake just means Negroes. but all 12 tribes are going to fall under in the days that we are in now. Um, let's get this. What was it? I think it's Deuteronomy 33rd chapter. Deuteronomy 33rd chapter. All right, perfect. Deuteronomy 33rd chapter, and it says the blessings of Moses. And when you go into these blessings, let's do this right here to line it up. Line it up. It's the same thing being mentioned in Genesis, the 49th chapter, in the same way. Because what? Jacob was what? I believe he was on his deathbed, and Moses is also on his deathbed, and they're doing the exact same thing. All right, Deuteronomy 33rd chapter, in verse 4. And Moses commanded us a law, even inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. So this is going into what? Where was it? Right here. Okay. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 2. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, the congregation of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. So Moses is Jacob in the regeneration cycle. Now let's get this right here. Deuteronomy 33 and verse 7. And this is the blessing of Judah. And he said, hear Yahweh, the voice of Judah, which is Yahweh, or Yahweh Thawada, which means Yahweh thinks, and bring him unto his people. Let his hands be sufficient for him, and be thou in help to him from his enemies. So this is just going into the blessings, which lines up with the same blessings here, Genesis chapter 49. Okay, scroll down to verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. So, at some point in time, all right, the other tribes are going to give praise to the Judites, so-called Negroes. Now, to a certain degree, that has been done through different movements Jake done over the years, but for the most part, it's not really there. You know, there's no praise befalling so-called Negroes. All right, thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemy. So these Judites, even these 2/3, man, all right, are gonna put in work against Esau and other nations. They're gonna put in work. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. So the Heavenly Father is gonna cause something to happen that's gonna make because you see right now all the other tribes we're all together, and there's really not a major shift or difference between the tribes. We're all on the same level, so to speak. You know, of course, you got the order, right? Apostle Tahar on down. But for the most part, there isn't a clear separation of the Israelites. We're just all one, which is how it's supposed to be. All right, for the time being. But something's going to happen. The Heavenly Father is going to do something, which is going to raise up the Judites above all the other tribes. Of course, the obvious way that's going to happen is through spiritual power, but it's going to be something on a grandiose level, because you got to think, Jacob is saying what? Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. So you're going to have all the other tribes submitting themselves to the so-called Negroes. And I mean, clearly that hasn't been fully put into place just yet. Of course, with Abba Bivens and Yaiquab and King Masha, all right, they was what High Priest Ariah. They were what, Judites, and they the ones that ushered in the truth. I even seen one of their old teachings how King Marshall was saying how the I think he was getting on Ephraim, man. And he was saying how Ephraim and the other northern tribes think they're better than the Judites because they're lighter. They look more similar to Esau. And that colorism is a real thing, man. And that's self-hate. So that was, a slither of what is that? Genesis 49 and 8. Now let's go to verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down and he couched as a lion, and as an old lion who shall rouse him up. So the Heavenly Father is going to do something. The Heavenly Father is going to do something that's going to cause these so-called Negroes to turn up on a very, very high level. A higher level, like it's going to be a distinction between the Judites and the Benjamites, the Gadites and the Reubenites. It's going to be a distinct difference between the tribes when Judah is risen up to that grandiose scale. And when you look at history, Judah has been taking the blunt force, the blunt effects of this captivity more than the other tribes. All right, so let's get let's see. Let's go to Numbers. Numbers 23 and verse 23. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what have God the Most High wrought? Behold, the people shall rise up as a great lion, and lift himself as a young lion. He shall not lie down until he eat of the prey and drink the blood of the slain. So all the tribes are going to get busy on Esau, mainly, primarily, once we get them new bodies and we come down, is when things are really gonna take that next level. See? Um, Let me see. We go to Micah, the 5th chapter, And verse 7, and the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people as a dew from Yahweh, as the showers upon the grass that tarrieth not for a man, nor waiteth for the sons of men. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of the sheep, who, if he go through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. So these Jakes, these Judites, man, are going to get really active. The Most High is going to turn up the so-called Negroes to a higher level than other tribes, which you, to a certain degree, you see it now, to a certain degree. All right, when you look at the men that had an understanding that's pushing his word, for it to be just off appearance, just looking off appearance, all right, it's more Northern Kingdom than Southern Kingdom. And of course, the Northern Kingdom has 9 tribes. The Southern Kingdom has 3, and specifically the Judites as just one tribe. But when you look, all right, it's majority uh so-called blacks, right? That's pushing the truth. You don't really see a lot of the Northern Kingdom out there compared to the ratio of the so-called blacks when you look um at the populations, right? You got Central South America, all right? Because that's the spirit the Heavenly Father set up. Let's go to Micah. Do I want this? Nah. Let's go to Zechariah, the 12th chapter. Zechariah, the 12th chapter, and verse 1. The burden of the word of Yahweh for Israel, saith Yahweh, which stretcheth forth the heavens and layeth the foundation of the earth, and formed the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege both against Judah and against Jerusalem. So all the nations are going to push up on the tribes. And that's talking about here in Babylon the Great, and what? In Latin America, you got Jake in Nigeria, Ghana, okay? The Caribbeans, which I believe the Caribbeans are considered North America. Let me see. May airdrop this. I'm type in a North American map. North American map. Let's see what countries are considered North America. Okay, hold on. Okay, my Safari. Let me see if this works right here. All right, got a North American map. So these are all the countries that's considered North America. So if you zoom in, you got the islands right there. You got the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Haiti, Jamaica, Cuba, Bahamas. All right, that's considered North America. Um, Now Panama, Costa Rica, Belize, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador. That's um considered Central America, but on the map it has it as North America, but that's really Central America. But the islands, that's a part of North America, just like Greenland is too. All right. Now Latin America is basically Mexico all the way down Uruguay, Paraguay, Chile. All right, that's considered Latin America. So these nations, they're gonna run through this whole area because that's where Jake is concentrated, specifically here in Babylon the Great. Jake is concentrated all throughout here. Where was I? Verse 3. In the day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. So when they run up, all right, Isaiah 59 chapter verse what 19, enemy shall come in like a flood. So the elect is gonna be risen up with spiritual power. You're gonna have the Judites at the forefront of that. And then once we get them new bodies, it's gonna be even on a higher level. Verse 4, in that day, saith Yahweh, I will smite every horse with astonishment, and his rider with madness, and I will open my eyes upon the house of Judah, and will smite every horse of the people with blindness. And the governors of Judah shall say in their heart, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength, and Yahweh of hosts their power. In that day I will make the governors of Judah like a hearth of fire among the wood. So when you look at a fire, a hearth is I'm gonna just show it. I can show it better than I can explain it. See if I can find. Bear with me. I'm trying to find the name. That's why it's taking so long. But it is mentioned again in Wisdom of Solomon. So let me see if I can get that. So you can really understand it. All right, perfect. Found it. So I'm gonna send the airdrop now. Perfect. All right, here it goes. This is exactly what I was looking for right here. So you see this right here? You see how the fire is burning? And you have those little small specks. And when you look at them as they're burning, they move like a chariot. All right? They zip around. All right? They go every which way. Like it doesn't just, like the fire is pretty much going up for the most part. But the stubble will go like this, like my cursor will go like this. Like a chariot. It looks like the chariots in the sky. So when it's talking about here, Zechariah 12 and verse 5, verse 6. In that day will I make the governors of Judah like a hearth of fire among the wood, and like a torch of fire in the sheath. That's talking about high level spiritual power. Because the angels are what? Ministers of fire. And we're going to be like the angels. All the tribes are. Ministers. Psalms 104 and 4. Who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. So they're fiery beings. And when you look at, this is a quick little testimony. I was outside and I was taking out the trash, and I saw something in the sky, and it looked like something. At first, I thought it was like fireworks or something, but I didn't hear fireworks go off, and it wasn't anywhere near a holiday. And I'm looking up, and it looks like a chariot or something in the sky, but it wasn't going downwards or upwards. It was going in a straight line. And it was glowing gold like a fire. It was like a fire, but more gold like. And you could see it, how the fire moves around, how fire just goes every which way. It was doing that, and it was floating in a straight line, and then it went invisible. So that very well could have been an angel, a minister of fire, right there. Now here's one that made me get to figure out what that word was, so I could find that image to illustrate it. It's also made mention again in Wisdom of Solomon. So let's get that. Wisdom of Solomon, 3rd chapter. And verse 7. And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. So Jake is going to be supercharged. We're going to be supercharged. We're going to be on a insane level of spiritual power. And we're going to beat in submission these nations. They're going to get beat in a powder. All right? They're not going to have any more rulership on the earth when we're done with them. Now let's end this off. Isaiah the 19th chapter. And verse Isaiah 19 and verse 17. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because the counsel of Yahweh of hosts which he hath determined against it. So the Heavenly Father is going to do something. Turn up these Judites. And Esau is going to be cooked. He's not going to have no way out. His way out is going to be destruction. All right? All I want to write this out is edifying. Shalom.